This. So this video is very near and dear to my heart because if I was not able to go and get to six figures per year back in early 2016, I would probably still be at my job. I would be doing a 45-minute to an hour long commute every single morning. I would have never been able to travel 13 times in the year like I did last year, and I would not have the life quality or free time that I have now, right? So this video is very, very, very important. And for some people, growing your business to six-figure level can be the most impactful journey or decision you probably make. Let's be honest, okay? So I want to kind of teach you the key steps to hitting $100,000 or more in annual revenue, whether you're starting from scratch or you're scaling up your business. And this system is based on what's worked for my students and for myself. So let's kind of break this down into some simple, repeatable actions. Now, also, if you ever want some help either starting or growing your bookkeeping business, our mentorship program is also open for enrollment. So you can click the link down in the description below to learn more about that and see if we can help you. Okay. So it's going to have you book a call. You're going to go and watch some resources to kind of get an understanding of the program. We're going to go and talk through like what's the best course of action for you. We'll talk about the pricing, we'll talk about the structure, and we'll talk about moving forward next steps. Okay. So I'd love to see you on the call. So attacking this video. So step number one, choose a high value niche. Now, not all clients are created equal. Okay. So, what I would really be encouraged and focused on is choosing niches that have consistent monthly needs. Now, here's an interesting thing, right? When you're starting out, I don't necessarily say that you need to choose one main niche. Like some people are like, okay, I want to do cannabis or I only want to do construction. I would leave it where it's like it's giving you direction but not locking you into something unless you have taken on clients in that particular niche. So I'll give you an example. So I like to choose like three or four niches when we're starting out. So let's say it's like, basket weaving. Let's say it's landscapers. Let's say it's car auto detailers. Let's say it's mom and pop retail shops, right? All four of those niches, ironically, are niches I would never go after, but I'm just giving you an example, right? Um, And you want to choose four, right? Because it's like, okay, so this can give me the direction I need to go into so I can go find businesses that are like this. But let's say that, maybe the basket weavers if don't work out for me or I just don't like basket weavers. I have three other people that I've already been going after. Versus if I only focus on basket weavers from the start, I would have spent 3 to 6 months focusing on this one niche only to find out, oh my gosh, I can't get a single client in basket weaving and now I have to restart, right? So now you just took 6 months, you didn't get any clients. Versus if you have four niches and you spend these 6 months, it's very highly likely that you're going to get at least one client from those niches, and then you can start narrowing down even further, right? Now, one thing that's really, really important is that when you're picking a niche, you want it to be a niche that you either understand or are interested in understanding. Because if you already understand it, you're going to be able to go and like explode the niche a lot faster. I'll give you an example. So one of my students' name is Eduardo, right? And he's really good. So he had a construction business, and he also runs one with his dad, right? And he knows every aspect of the construction game. So one thing that he does really well is what's called a bank draw. It's like an invoicing process for general contractors in the construction field. So what he does is he can approach almost every construction company he's either worked with in the past or who are like a part of like a builders or a construction association. And he knows their pressing desire and pressing need are these bank draws. So far he signed up about, I think he signed up about like 5 clients for these bank draws. Now, keep in mind, these are not small clients. These clients can be anywhere from 2,000 to $5,000 a month, right? Just off of the bank draws alone, because these guys are doing millions and millions of dollars for the construction companies, but they have to be able to either do the invoicing and get their people paid. So by him processing all this stuff, it allows them to be able to move a significant amount of money, so he can charge a lot for it. But he knows the industry. If you didn't know the industry and you didn't even know that bank draws are a thing, you would be at a complete disadvantage against someone like him, right? So, but if you like construction, just like the field of construction in general, you would probably put in the time to learn these different aspects of the construction game. So then one day you would be the person who knows these little secrets about the industry, like bank draws and stuff like that, you know? So it's like you just have to kind of have a love for the game. That's how I really describe it. Just have a love for the game. Because if you don't have a love for the game, you're just never gonna like learn it. Like if I didn't like making YouTube videos, like I would probably never have gotten a successful YouTube channel, right? Like there's people that, people say like, on YouTube, I don't really have a lot of competition, right? Like it's like people who are doing a mentorship program. It's not that I wouldn't necessarily have competition, just most people don't like YouTube enough to make enough videos for you to ever even find out about them, right? So I just make so many videos that no one else can find my competitors, right? So they don't even exist technically. It's the same thing online for you. If you don't let people know about what you do, you don't really exist. Um, yeah, cool. And then also, yeah, that's really the thing. And then once you kind of get to a certain zone, then specializing makes things like growing a lot faster. Cool. So number two, get your first three clients fast. So once you've kind of identified three to four different markets and directions we're going to go after, I would start with my warm network, right? So friends, family, and past coworkers. Now, if you're anything like me, I I did not have a great network when I was starting out. Now, when I was looking back and thinking now, I probably had more people than what I thought I did, but I didn't really know anyone, right? Because all I did was like wake up. I had gone to college, but like outside of college, I didn't really make any new friends. So I would just wake up, go to work, come home, maybe go to the gym, watch some TV for 2 to 3 hours, then go to sleep. That was my social life. It was non-existent. So I didn't really know anyone that owned a business, right? So it was hard for me to do that. But for people that do know people that own a business, or you're very social, maybe you do like a pickleball league, maybe you do like a tennis league, basketball league, whatever. Try and find out who owns these like different businesses in your local area, right? And then see if any of them want your services. Another thing you can do is you can post on your social media about your services. Now, if you're in a job where it doesn't let you have another business, like and you're kind of doing this like submarine or under under the table kind of thing, don't post on your social media profile to start, right? You just have to reach out to those people own a business first and see if they want your help. Next thing, so you can start sending outreach messages on LinkedIn and Facebook. Okay, that's very easy to go get your first three clients, right? Almost every student in my mentorship program, their first three clients comes from sending some sort of outreach message on LinkedIn or Facebook. Now, there are ways to do this, right? Because like if you have the wrong way, you might need to send 1,000 messages to get one client. Or if you do it the right way, I've had people get a client within as little as like 30 messages, right? Now, if you think 30 messages is a lot, it's just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste 30 times. If you're not able to do that or you're not willing to do that, you might not be ready to start a business. Now, if we're talking about 2,000, 3,000 messages, okay, we're gonna do an automation tool all day, right? We're not gonna send out that many. That's a lot of messages, right? But if we're just talking about like 20 or 30, it's not really that big of a deal. It can take you maybe like 20 minutes to 30 minutes a day to send out 30 messages. Not a lot. Now, when you're doing your messaging, I would offer a free consultation call just to build some trust. Now, in the old days, you would see like financial advisors or tax professionals saying a free consultation. And then people be like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, I want to learn this free information, this free consultation, right?" However, now with the internet age, there's so much information flowing. A consultation call is not a big deal to most business owners. All most people hear when they hear a consultation call is like sell, I'm trying to sell you something. So it's like it's not really adding as much value as what most people think it is, right? So don't if you're one of those people who's like a little bit more old school, you're like, okay, this free consultation call is my ticket to fame. Everyone's gonna want that. No, it's not gonna work the way you think that it will. It's more of nowadays, if someone already basically wants to work with you, then a consultation call is just more about like structuring how you guys are going to be working together. It's not going to be like this like sales thing that's going to save your business and save your life. Okay? That's the biggest thing that I can kind of say. I wish I had known that when I first got started, right? I just didn't know this stuff. And that's why I'm making these videos for you, so you don't have to make those mistakes I did. And trust me, I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. Next thing, so start building some monthly recurring revenue. So you need to start structuring your offer as monthly packages. Now, if what I mean by that, like you might be saying, well, Bryce, well, of course. However, most of the times when you're getting your first couple clients, most of those clients will be needing cleanups. So some of them, 50% of people that need a cleanup, they will want to do monthly services. 50% of people, they're kind of like in between. Like they might want to do monthly services, they might not, right? So in some cases, your first couple clients might be cleanups. They might not be monthly clients, right? So as soon as possible, you need to start figuring out a way to extend those contracts and extend those cleanups to get monthly clients on average. Now, In the beginning, if it's just you doing the work and you have a very finite number of hours, I would avoid doing hourly rates. However, if you're in our program, I kind of give you slightly more nuanced advice than that. It really depends on your time and who's actually doing the work, right? If you have someone who is in like India who is charging you $5 to $10 an hour to do accounting work for you, and you know you can go and charge 60, 80, 90, 200, $300 for that same hour of work, it might make sense to go hourly. But it's not always like that. You might have someone in America that's doing the work. You might have, and you can't get that arbitrage, that little that extra value between the price that you're paying them and the price that you're charging your clients, right? Let's say it's an American person, you're only able to get them to they'll take like $45 per hour, let's say for example. And if you're only able to bill out at $60 per hour, it might not really make that much sense if you only have 3 hours worth of work per month, right? So then you would want to charge monthly on that like smaller clients. Next thing, including a cleanup or catch up as an onboarding option. Now, I like this and we just kind of talked about it a little bit, but I just want to make sure that like if I do offer a cleanup, like there's some option to do a monthly service thereafter. Now, if you can get this monthly recurring revenue, it makes everything easier. Our students on average will hit six figures. Like we've seen people do it with like, 10 to 15. It's really on average about 10 to 15 clients, right? Worst case scenario should be 20 clients. Best case scenario I've ever seen is like one is half a client. Okay. One of our students, he had a 20K per month client. And that's not even the highest clients our students have had, but the when I talk publicly, I like to talk averages. I don't like to talk about like the outliers, if that kind of makes sense, right? So I don't want to talk about the guy who did $752,000 a year, the guy who did $680,000 a year, right? Because for you watching and you're talking about starting a business, you're probably not going to hit $680,000 per year in your first year. I'm not trying to kill your dreams. I'm just kind of talking about like just the averages. Next thing, pricing for profit. Okay, so our minimum monthly rate is about $500 per month. $500 per month. Okay. You want to raise your price from the start. Now, if you're a person where it's like, okay, I'm really nervous. I don't know if people are gonna want to work with me. I don't have a lot of experience. Okay, you can maybe start a little bit lower than just kind of like raise your price as your confidence grows. But don't think that you have to keep your price low in the beginning because you have no experience. The pricing is more of a reflection of you than a reflection of them. Okay. And the reason why I say is because if you can command enough respect, people are willing to pay you whatever you want. But if you're not confident in the price that you're choosing, or they're confident in like the prices that you say, it's going to cause people not to want to pay you the price you're asking. And that's when it gets really hard to charge the prices that you ask for, and everyone seems to say your price is too high. It's just they're not respecting you to that degree to pay you those prices that you're asking for. Right? But as soon as we kind of like fix how we think about ourselves, people really change how they respond to us. Okay? Cool. Next thing, stay consistent with marketing. Success equals doing the right things consistently, even when you don't see results. When I first started making this YouTube channel, right, for mentorship programs, the first month and a half, I didn't get any clients from it. Now, if I'm grateful that, I wasn't just starting the biz, right? I'd already been in doing the mentorship program for I think 2 or 3 years before I started my YouTube channel. So I didn't really necessarily need the results to come right away. But if this was me when I was starting out in 2015, I would have been panicking. Oh my gosh, I didn't get a client. I did all this work, but I didn't get a client. Oh my gosh, it must not work. It must not work, right? And I would have stopped. And if I had stopped, I would have missed out on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of income just because I didn't see a result in the beginning. The results are working. It just takes time to receive the results that we're looking for. Keep that in mind. It's not that things are not working. It's just that it's almost like planting a tree or planting a flower. You have to go and put in the seeds first, let the roots start growing, let the water seep into the soil, and then let stuff start coming up and just like rising, right? Now, unfortunately, the bigger the tree, the longer the roots take to go and rest. I once got this story. They were talking about a bamboo tree. A bamboo tree takes forever to grow, right? It can take weeks, months. I think in some cases, I think it was like 3 years of watering the bamboo tree before it actually will grow and actually and take roots. But once that tree grows, it grows one of the taller trees that you can possibly see, right? And that's how your business needs to be. Like if you're just trying to make, a side hustle, 2 grand a month, 3 grand a month. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to do that, okay, not gonna take you much time to do that. Let's just be honest, right? But if you're talking about six figures, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand per month, this stuff can take a little bit of effort, a little bit of energy, a little bit of time. Now, if you're doing it with someone like if you're doing like a mentorship program, you're gonna get there a lot faster than if you didn't, but there still is a time delay and a time component. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, next thing, make sure that people have been on a consultation call you are following up with. Okay, so I'd be messaging them by following up with them just to make sure that they're still interested, see what their objections were, and see like what's caused them not to have worked with you in the first place. After that, I would start posting valuable content 3 to 5 times per week on social media. Now, if you're inside of our mentorship program, we do content a little differently. We don't necessarily do consistent content, but I'm assuming if you're watching this video you're not in my mentorship program, which means you have to kind of do things the hard way. So that's going to be 3 to 5 videos per week on social media. Now, if you say, Bryce, it's a lot. I know, I know. I'm with you. You don't have to start at a five per week. You can start at one, maybe two, maybe three, right? You don't have to make videos. You can just like make like written posts. Now, you could try and do like chat GPT related content. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna give you the results that you think it will. Okay. You need to learn the skill set of writing posts, of if you want to do videos, of making videos before your videos can be good and before you can start using AI to kind of organize things, right? Because the AI will give you an organization or a pattern of words on the paper, but it's not going to have the human element of your stories, your life experience, your experience in general, your clients who you've helped, right? So you have to be able to add that human element or that experience, that life experience element to the AI writing in order for it to actually take off and be, successful. Okay. And then since bookkeeping is in high demand, it's all about visibility and that's going to lead to opportunities. You get visible, you're going to get more opportunities. Simple as that. All of my success that I can attribute is literally because I post, written posts, video posts, talk to people. I am visible. Let's just say that I am visible. I literally pay Facebook to run advertisements for me that are literally just mini 3 minute or 5 minute videos just so people say, hey, I'm Bryce. This is what I do. This is how I can help you. Book a call. That's it. And those are playing 24/7. Okay. Almost every person in the industries that I go after knows who I am. Now, that might be an overstatement, right? There's some people maybe don't use Facebook, but the people that are on Facebook know who I am. And that's the secret to success. That's it. I wish someone would have told me this when I started. But you know, I had to in the first 6 months I didn't do anything, right? So like I was trying to do everything on my own. It wasn't until I started like buying courses, I started getting into different mentorship programs, and I got into a lot of different types of mentorship programs. Like there wasn't really mentorship programs for accountants and bookkeepers when I was starting out. Everything was like negotiation, used car salespeople stuff, how to do cold calling, how to build a link. Like it was all separate programs, right? That I had to go and figure everything out to put into one. Okay. I'll give you an example. So one of our students, her name is Eileen. She had 6 figures in 11 months. So she started with no experience like in business. She just had determination. Now she focused on one niche. So for her niche, it was online coaches. Now, knowing what I know now, I probably would not recommend online coaches to start, but in her case, she did. So she messaged a certain amount of people per day and posted weekly tips. Now she closed her first deal. She closed $2,000 in MRR. That's monthly recurring revenue within 60 days, and she scaled from there. So it took her 60 days to go get like, to go start getting her clientele up, right? Some people be like, it took 60 days to get to $2,000 a month. And like, if you just all you see is social media highlights and you just see like these like random gurus and stuff saying you're gonna make 6 figures in 30 days, that doesn't seem like a lot. But when you actually get down to like the real under the hood actual industry information, $2,000 a monthly recurring revenue is $24,000 per year. If you can do it within 60 days, that's amazing. 20 years ago, people used to talk about in business the first year, all they would expect to make is like $29,000 in a year, right? So if you can do it within 60 days, you're way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. Right? And then it's the run rate, right? So once she got there, she knew what to do and she kept repeating it. That's how she hit 6 figures. It only took her 11 months to do so. Okay. So remember, you don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Stick to one niche, one message, one offer. track your numbers weekly. Like how many calls booked do you have? How many clients closed? How much revenue earned? And then if Eileen can do it, so can you. Okay. Now, if you ever want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been trying to grow for a while, it's just not quite going, or maybe even thinking about starting your business and you have like dreams and aspirations to be able to leave your job, but it's far away. It feels like there's so much stuff you have to learn. It feels like there's just so much stuff you don't know. I'm here to help you. Okay. Click the link inside the description, either above, below the video. Let's book a call. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Okay. That's what I'm here for. That's the only reason I'm on this YouTube channel. The only reason you see me on the internet right now is to help you. The moment that I'm no longer helpful to you, or yeah, the moment I'm no longer helpful to you is the moment I stop making these videos. Okay. But I believe so much in your journey that I'm willing to do this. Sometimes I do videos on vacation. Sometimes I do videos, well, like on the weekend, right? Because I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed almost as bad as if like you were my child, right? And I know I don't know you. Maybe I don't know you. Maybe we never talked, maybe we never spoken, but I believe in your journey and I'm always watching from afar, okay? So if you ever want some help, you want some more close relationship, you want to be able to go and get to the result faster, click the link inside the description, book the call. I'd love to see if I can help you in our mentorship program, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day.